There it is. Anyway, yeah. So this is the first Manga Monday recommendation I'm going to do. I've got 3 titles here. I'll talk just a little bit about them. And, you know, if you're interested, run out and get them. If you've read them, cool. Let's talk about it in the comments. So I will start with the not BL title. Not because it's not BL, but because I'm also going in the order of when the next volume comes out. The next volume of this comes out sooner rather than later. Well, sooner. It's like 4 months still. But, so, I'm going to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. This is really popular. If you haven't heard of this, then I don't know where you've been. But I am going to recommend it. I have really enjoyed this series so far. I'm really excited for Season 2 of the anime to finally be coming out in 2023, next year. I'm holding 2 volumes because you have your classic Volume 1, and then Volume 0, this is a prequel story, which actually will make more sense if you read a few volumes of the rest of it first, in my opinion, because, well, that's how they put it out. It was really interesting. I don't remember how many volumes were out when 0 came out, but it was a few. But yeah, so Jujutsu Kaisen is about this guy, Itadori Yuji, and one day he's hanging out with the occult research club at school one evening, and it turns out that the occult item that he found them was actually really awful and tied to a really powerful, awful being. And in the process of trying to protect people, he ate said object, and it made him, well, it definitely gave him some abilities and a little side effect that he probably wasn't wanting. But this is really fun. I always tell people it's kind of like if Naruto met the Gray Man, is kind of the vibes that I get there. I really like it. Of course, then 9 times out of 10, they're like, the Gray Man, what even is that? And I'm like, sad. But it's okay. It's like Naruto with horror vibes, but in like a modern Tokyo setting. Oh, I've got cat hair. Go figure. Correct. It made more sense after like 5 volumes. You're like, oh. And also, if you did not know, this is what the movie is based on. The movie's based on this timeline. So, which I believe is about to be released on Crunchyroll, or has been. I'd have to double check. The next title I'm going with, this is another popular one as far as this genre is concerned, but I'm gonna say, even if you don't read BL, that you should probably be reading this anyway. But yeah, given, really no shocker there. Oh, my camera, there we go. It didn't want to, let me tilt a little bit so you can see the picture better. But yeah, some people feel like this is overhyped, but it actually, in my opinion, is kind of worth the hype. The problem is you have to wait a long time for the volumes in between. This has been coming out for years. There's only 6 volumes out so far, and the next volume comes out in January. And this volume 6 has been out for a while, so. But I am really enjoying this. So this is about a band, if you couldn't tell. And you have your main guys, Ueyama. I always have a hard time saying his name. And then you have, and he meets Mafuyu, who is the one holding the red guitar. Anyway, they meet in a stairwell at school because Mafuyu is hanging out with this guitar that is like in need of love and affection. He's hanging out in Ueyama's napping spot. And a unplanned on friendship and relationship and new singer to the band starts that way. And the other 2 characters are also fantastic and I love them, but I don't want to tell you guys too much. I just want you to read it. The anime is also available. It was recently dubbed and is pretty great. Oh, and shameless plug from Miss Relena, which is fine. Anime Bonsai in northern Utah in October. They are an anime convention. They're going to have a bunch of the voice actors from Jujutsu Kaisen there. So, FYI. Hair. Cat hair. My apologies. Alright, my last one. This is another really popular one, so if you haven't heard of it, I would really be surprised. This is another one where even if you don't read or watch BL, I'm still going to recommend it to you because it is so wholesome and wonderful, and I love it. And that would be Sasaki and Miyano. This is so good. I love this so much. So much. So this is about Sasaki and Miyano, and they meet. They go to the same school. They go to an all-boys school. They meet specifically because Miyano is calling the student council person that he knows because there's a fight going on, and he's trying to report it and help his friend who is being bullied. And Sasaki happens to be nearby, and he's like, oh, I'll take care of it. So he goes over and gets into the fight, therefore stopping the fight, and that's how the two of them meet. And the interesting thing about Miyano is he is what we call a fudanshi, which is a man who is a BL fan. And Sasaki starts borrowing manga from him, and a very unlikely friendship and relationship starts from that. I love it. The anime for this is also out on Crunchyroll. I recommend the dub and the sub. They're both fantastic. And yeah, those are my recommendations for our first Manga Monday episode. If you guys haven't read any of those or haven't watched the anime, if you can't read the manga, I highly recommend the anime, vice versa. Obviously, the anime is actually probably going to be easier because you can just get it on Crunchyroll. For all three of those titles. You can get all three of those subbed and dubbed on Crunchyroll.